The origins of the muscle car era have long been debated. Was it the iconic Pontiac GTO or an even earlier contender? While opinions vary, one thing is certain. NASCAR played a pivotal role in shaping the high-performance culture of the 1960s. As American automakers waged a fierce horsepower war, their efforts on the racetrack began to influence what rolled off the assembly line. The race on Sunday, sell on Monday philosophy seemed to be a huge hit as manufacturers created powerful machines that weren't just made to win, they were made to be sold. And thanks to homologation rules, many engines tearing up the oval had to be made available to the public. In today's video, we've rounded up 10 muscle cars that came equipped with NASCAR-bred power plants, ready to make their mark on both the street and the track. And first up, we have the 1961 Chevrolet Impala SS, a beast of a car before General Motors enforced its 1963 ban on factory-backed racing. Chevrolet made a strong impression on the NASCAR scene with the Impala SS, competing in the Superstock class. This full-sized powerhouse was equipped with a 409 cubic inch V8, a 6.7-liter engine that delivered an impressive 360 horsepower and 409 pounds-per-foot of torque, straight from the factory. This only meant one thing: some serious performance on the streets. With 0 to 60 miles per hour coming in at just 6.7 seconds, it was remarkable for a car of its size and era. While privateer teams would later shift their focus to Chevrolet's more advanced 427 cubic inch mystery motor, the 409 still held its ground on the track, seeing considerable success in 1962, piloted by legends like Ned Jarrett and Rex White. Next up is the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429, after NASCAR banned Ford's 427 single overhead cam V8 from competition. The Blue Oval responded by unveiling the Boss 429. Like the SCCA Focused Boss 302, the engine was homologated for race use in a Mustang, though the extra displacement resulted in a thundering 375 horsepower and 450 pounds-per-foot of torque. On the oval, Ford's Boss 429 V8 took home some 26 wins throughout the 1969 season, and it likely would have continued to do so if it were not for budget cuts that resulted in the axing of factory support the following year. But this is not the only Ford car featuring in our list today. We also have the 1961 Ford Galaxy Starliner, a 390 cubic inch V8. Before Ford rolled out its legendary 427 FE, the company's NASCAR efforts leaned heavily on the Starliner. On the street, this engine came in two main flavors: a base version with hydraulic lifters that produced 300 horsepower and 375 pounds-per-foot of torque, and a more aggressive setup with mechanical lifters, known as the 6V Thunderbird Special, which boosted output to an impressive 401 horsepower and 430 pounds-per-foot of torque. Ford's 1962 NASCAR season saw a significant design shift as well. That year, the sleek and aerodynamic Galaxy Starliner was discontinued, forcing teams to run the more upright and less streamlined box-top coupe. In an attempt to restore some aerodynamic advantage, Ford engineers got creative, combining the Starliner roof with a Sunliner convertible body to create what they called the Starlift. Unfortunately, the innovation was short-lived, as the Starlift was disqualified after just a single appearance on the track. The next year, though, was different. Pontiac had already established itself as a formidable competitor in NASCAR. The brand claimed victories in 7 of 49 races in 1960 and an impressive 30 wins out of 52 races in 1961, a clear testament to its racing pedigree. But as rivals like Ford, Chevrolet, and Chrysler began increasing engine displacements beyond the 400 cubic inch mark, Pontiac was compelled to escalate its own performance game. The response came in the form of the 421 Super Duty, a street-legal powerhouse that delivered 405 horsepower and 425 pounds-per-foot of torque. On the road, that translated to a blistering 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just 4.5 seconds. Jeez. And that's not it. In 1963, Pontiac pushed the envelope even further with the introduction of the lightweight Swiss cheese Catalina, a factory special with sections of the frame literally drilled out to reduce weight and boost performance. It was a no-compromise effort built for speed both on the track and on the strip. The next car was no different, the 1963 Plymouth Sport Fury. Before the legendary Hemi engine made its mark on NASCAR history, Chrysler had already begun laying the groundwork with another high-performance 426 cubic inch V8, the Max Wedge. Introduced in 1962 as the Max Wedge 413, this engine was later re-engineered to meet the 7.0-liter displacement cap set by NASCAR and HNRA regulations, resulting in an increased bore of 4.25 inches and the evolution of the 426 Max Wedge. True to its name, the Max Wedge featured wedge-shaped cylinder heads and, depending on the specific configuration and compression ratio, could produce up to 425 horsepower. Chrysler made its engine widely available across its B-body lineup, including models like the Dodge 330, 440, Polara, and Polara 500, as well as Plymouth Savoy, Belvedere, Fury, and Sport Fury, playing a crucial role in bridging the gap between race-focused engineering and street-ready performance, making it a key milestone in the emergence of the muscle car as we know it today. The next car we have is the 1963 Ford Galaxie 500 R-Code. Now, the Ford Galaxie wasn't limited to just one form of motorsport. It was a true all-arounder, competing in everything from NHRA drag racing and NASCAR events to road racing and touring car championships. The dirt oval was merely one of the many stages where the Galaxie showcased its performance capabilities. And why wouldn't it? At the heart of its racing success was the 427 cubic inch FE V8, a pushrod engine that may not carry the legendary status of Ford's overhead cam cammer, but proved itself a formidable force. In 1963 alone, this engine helped Ford secure 23 manufacturer victories. Among the highlights, Dan Gurney claimed victory in the Riverside 500, Tiny Lund won the prestigious Daytona 500, and Don White captured the USAC Drivers' Championship, all behind the wheel of a 427-powered Ford. While the Ford Galaxie remained a strong performer on the NASCAR oval, its weight made it less competitive on the drag strip. To address this, Ford introduced a lightweight version of the Galaxie with modified bodywork, but more significantly, they developed a purpose-built factory drag car, the Fairlane Thunderbolt. Limited to just 100 units, the Thunderbolt was engineered for one thing: straight-line speed. Beneath its distinctive teardrop-shaped hood sat Ford's potent 427 cubic inch FE V8, delivering 425 horsepower and an impressive 480 pounds per foot of torque, combined with its aggressive weight reduction strategies, including plexiglass windows and fiberglass body panels. The Thunderbolt was capable of launching from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.7 seconds. Insane. The next car is no different. The 1966 Plymouth Belvedere Hemi. After Chrysler's dominant performance during the 1964 NASCAR season with its 426 Hemi engine, the governing body moved to ban the V8 from competition, at least until it was made available to the general public. In response, Dodge and Plymouth were required to produce a street-legal version of the engine to recertify it for racing. Chrysler answered the call with the introduction of the Dodge Charger and Plymouth Belvedere. Equipped with the newly homologated Street Hemi, this version featured a 10.25:1 compression ratio, dual 4-barrel carburetors, and a solid lifter camshaft, producing a factory-rated 425 horsepower and a massive 490 pounds per feet of torque. The decision to bring the Hemi to the streets paid immediate dividends on the track. In the 1967 NASCAR season, Richard Petty dominated the competition, stringing together 10 consecutive victories and ultimately securing 27 wins out of 48 races, a clear testament to the power and effectiveness of the Hemi engine, both on the road and on the oval. The next car didn't have that much success, though, as aerodynamic challenges meant that the redesigned 1968 Dodge Charger faced serious challenges on the NASCAR oval. The recessed grille design created excessive front-end drag, while the squared-off roofline contributed to unstable rear-end lift at high speeds, both of which hindered its competitiveness. In response, Dodge returned to the drawing board and introduced a more aerodynamically redefined version, the 1969 Charger 500. This updated model featured a flush-mounted grille and a reshaped rear window with sleek sloped glass to improve airflow and stability. Although the 500 designation referred to NASCAR's minimum production requirement for homologation, only 392 units were produced. Imagine owning such a unique car. Maybe if you guys can help my channel grow, I can own a four-wheeler like this one day. So what are you waiting for? Like and subscribe to my channel And don't forget to press the bell icon. Hold on now, because I'm about to present you with one of the most iconic cars ever produced, the Dodge Charger Daytona, a purpose-built machine designed specifically to dominate NASCAR. Homologated for racing, the Daytona featured a radically aerodynamic nose cone and a towering rear wing, both engineered to reduce drag and enhance high-speed stability. These innovations made it the first car in NASCAR history to break the 200 mph barrier on the oval. And that wasn't it. For the street customers, the Daytona was offered with a choice between the powerful 440 cubic inch V8 and the legendary 426 Hemi V8. On the track, however, it was the Hemi that truly stood out, powering Dodge drivers to 7 victories in the final 11 races of the season. Despite the Daytona's late season surge, Ford had already established a commanding lead, securing 26 wins over the year. Still, the Charger's debut marked a turning point in NASCAR engineering and cemented its place in motorsport history. And with that, the time of our video has ended. Until next time, see you on the road.